A stroke is an injury to the brain, and the injury is caused from an interruption of blood flow suddenly. The symptoms of stroke depend on what part of the brain is affected. The left side of the brain controls right side of the body. Right side of the brain controls left side of the body. So let's say someone doesn't get enough blood flow to the right side of their brain. Suddenly they're going to have symptoms. Maybe their face droops, maybe their arm becomes weak, maybe their leg becomes weak. If it's in the back of the brain, people might just have a visual problem. If it's more in the front of the brain, people might have problems with speech or language, understanding how to communicate. The important thing is to realize that the symptoms begin abruptly, almost like pulling the plug out, suddenly the computer goes off. The same thing with the brain. The majority of strokes are called ischemic stroke. Ischemic or ischemia means reduction in blood flow. So suddenly if the brain's not getting enough blood flow, maybe the blood vessel is blocked, maybe a little clot went up to the brain. So that's going to cause an ischemic stroke from an interruption of blood flow. And that happens about 80% of the time. 20% of the time is hemorrhagic. So hemorrhage means bleeding. So again, if you think of a blood vessel full of blood in the brain, all of a sudden that blood vessel is going to rupture, spill, and allow blood to settle in the brain. Even though a stroke means that that part of the brain has been permanently injured, the brain has tremendous capacity for recovery. And so how do people recover? It's not that that part of the brain, if this is the stroke, recovers. It is the area that surrounds the injured area that makes new connections between itself to do what this part of the brain used to do. And that's why rehab's so important. Just like if I want muscles, I've got to go to the gym, not one day, but many days. Same thing with the brain, it needs to be stimulated. You have to do it fairly soon after someone's had a stroke in order to take full advantage of what the brain can do. In stroke treatment, we say time is brain. And what we mean by that is that every moment that goes by, there are 1 million brain cells that die, right? And so if that continues over and over again, you know that the degree of brain that's injured is going to be considerable. Come in right away, we can really try to shorten that damage and therefore the disability that someone might have after that.